Next in our subsystem, you remember we took the example as a subsystem as what? ALU and shifter. So the first subsystem we completed, that is shifter we completed. The second subsystem is ALU. In the ALU position what? Arithmetic operation. That is the we are going. We are going to design a 4-bit adder here. As we know how to design 4-bit adder, already we studied in so many subjects, HDL and logic design also. Now let us recap those also. So in order to derive the requirements of n-bit adder, we need to consider the two binary numbers, that is A and B. So now here we given us like this. So A and B here. Next in this, we took the example of some numbers here. There is around 4. Let's randomly some A and B binary number. As you know how to add, here this arrow marks and all is indicates carry 1. Means wherever the carry will flow, that is example 1 plus 0, sum is 1. There is no carry, so there is no arrow mark. Next 1 plus 1, the sum is 0, then I will get carry 1 I will get. So there is a arrow mark. Next 1 plus 1, what will happen? So it is like I'm not taking the previous carry, okay? Yes, you have to think in that way. So here it's generating the carry. That is the meaning of that. So next is like when adding 0 plus 0, sorry, here 1 plus 1, sum is 0, then carry is 1. Okay, now what will happen? 1 plus 0 plus 0, the sum is 1, then carry will be 0, so there is no arrow mark over there. Next 1 plus 1, the sum is 0, again what will happen? The carry will generate, so that is why the carry is generating. So or I can write like this here also, carry, this is carry actually, I can write like this, carry is generating. Next from here, when I add 1 plus 1 plus 1, what will happen? The sum is 1, again the carry also is 1. Next, again you add over there, carry is 1, 1 plus 0 plus 1, then sum will be 0. Again what will happen? It will generate the carry. Next, again what will happen? When the carry is generated, 1 plus 0, the sum is 0, again it will generate the carry. Again 1 plus 0 plus 1, sum is 0, again it generating the carry. This is what. So now you can see here, these all are indicates the carries, but you can see from here to here, if I say this indicates the previous carry for the column K. Now here we can say it's something but like when you're having a 8-bit number, say example, if I want to say, so what I can do for 8-bit number, I can divide 4-bit and the 4-bit. Now I will add the 4-bit numbers here. After that, what will happen? It will generate here one more carry. That is what here they said like a new carry. This is like here, what I said, this is your previous carry. This is the new carry. So when I add any two numbers, what will happen? 1, 0, sorry, number will be like this, 1, 1. Okay, now 1, 0, again 1, 1. So now what will happen? 1, 1 sum is 0, then I will get a carry. So I can say this carry is previous carry. Correct? This is the previous carry. Next sum is 0, then again carry is 1. So I can say this is new carry. That is what here they said. This is the previous carry, then this is new carry. Next like this we'll get. So this will be our 4-bit adder, how the the binary numbers will get add over there. So example, this is the 4-bit numbers example you can take. Okay, this is the 4-bit example. If you want to take, you can take like this. This is our 4-bit numbers. Next, what I will do, let us go for how to get the Boolean expression. This is a normal truth table for your binary adder, which has the inputs A, K, B, K. Why I said like this in the sense here, the truth table specifies for like we indicates A, K, B, K, input A, K, B, K. Next, this will be your C in. The C in will be denoted as previous carry. Then the outputs sum, the sum will be denoted as SK. The new carry will be denoted as CK. Why I'm saying like this in the sense like example, For single adder, I can write the Boolean expression. For n-bit adder, we have to write the expression in generalized way. Correct? So to write in generalized way, so you have to write this A suffix k, B suffix k. So then you can know that the new carry is ck means, then what about the previous carry? The previous carry will be ck minus 1. That is why this is nothing but your scene actually, the previous carry. Okay. Now this is the truth table for your full adder. Now what we'll do from this, let us go for how to write this Boolean expression. For that, what we did, we implemented this full adder using two half adder. So this is the two half adder technique over there. So the first half adder will produce the sum and the carry. This is your sum, correct? This is the sum, this is the carry. So same the way, this is the sum, this is the carry. Now for the first order, the sum is nothing but I indicated the variable as called as h of k. That is hk here, that is h of k. Same, both are same only. Hk is nothing but what actually? The sum of your half adder is what actually? It's supposed to be a XOR b. Correct? I think you know that. So let me write, that is nothing but what? The sum h of k is equal to where? H of k is equal to, here I written. See this? What is this? A XOR B, that is nothing but A bar B plus AB bar. A bar AK bar BK plus AK BK bar. That is what your H of K. Next your this is carry. The carry is nothing but what? Carry is nothing but it's a AND gate. That is AK dot BK. That is your carry actually. So same second half adder here. Since this diagram Sandal as you know very well. Now what will be the sum of a full adder completely? The sum is nothing but again, it's nothing but XOR of A and B means H of K XOR with this value nothing but C K minus 1. So I can say Sk is equal to, what is the S of K? S of K is nothing but XOR HK Ck minus 1, XOR of HK Ck minus 1. That is simple. I can say HK Ck minus 1 bar plus HK bar Ck minus 1. Next, what about this carry? This carry is nothing but AND gate of these two. Correct? HK dot Ck minus 1. This is what I'll get carry. Now, what is the final carry I'll get? Actually, this is the final carry is something, but we need an OR gate over there. This and this OR gate. So, this is nothing but your carry of the first half adder will be AK dot BK. Then carry of your second half adder HK dot CK minus 1. Then you do the plus. So, I can say that CK is equal to what? See here we got AK BK plus HK Ck minus 1. This is the new carry actually. This is indicates new carry. This indicates a previous carry. Now here I said half sum means this only half sum actually. So now what we'll do, let us go for the adder element requirements. What are the elements are required to design an adder? This we know. So like how to get this, write this expression. But let us put some conditions over here to find out adder element requirements will be there from this truth table. Okay, what I will do here, first let us concentrate for sum. Yes, let us go for the sum now. Here, as you know, the inputs are here A and B, right? Say example, this is the input, this is the previous. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to take AK is equal to BK if. So now let me see in this truth table, AK is equal to BK. Wherever AK is equal to BK is there, see here, AK is equal to BK, that is 0, 0. Next, where I'm having 1, 1. Next, 0, 0. Next, 1, 1. See, these all four cases are AK is equal to BK only. Now, AK is equal to BK means now you see the sum actually here 0. Next sum is 0. Next sum is 1. Next sum is 1. You see indicates now, right? What will be SK now here? You see when AK is equal to BK, now what happened? SK is equal to 0. You see here I got 0. Previous carry also 0. SK also 0. So again here see, what is in? It is 0. SK sum also is 0. Here previous carry is 1. Sum also is 1. Here previous carry is 1. Sum also is equal to 1. Now from this I can write the generalized way. What I can say, if AK is equal to BK, then my SK is equal to what? CK minus 1. That is what here. SK is equal to CK minus 1. Now else What I'll go for else condition now? Let us go for else condition. That is nothing but AK is not equal to BK. Now we'll see the condition. AK is not equal to BK condition. The rest of the values are AK is not equal to BK only, right? Now we'll see what is that? Your sum. The sum here is 1, correct? The sum is 1. Here also is 1, 0, 0. Now you see the corresponding previous carry. Sum is 1. Here previous carry is 0. Here this is also 0. This is 0. This is 0. Now what happened here? Here previous carry is 0. SK is equal to 1 actually. Here also the previous carry is 0. SK is equal to 1. Next previous carry is 1. SK is 0. Next here also 1. SK is 0. Now what happened actually here in this? Let me go for that condition. Yes. So now equal condition is this, correct? 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. Yes. Now you see what happened? SK is equal to CK minus 1 bar actually. 0 bar 1. Next 0 bar 1. 1 bar 0. 1 bar 0. So I got SK is equal to CK minus 1 bar. This is for sum actually. Added elements. Next, let us go for carry. How it will be for carry now? You have to check for carry now. Let us check for carry now. Let us check for first. Again, same condition. If AK is equal to BK, same. What I should do now? AK is equal to BK, same. 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. Now corresponding carry you see 0. Next is 0. Next is 1. Next is 1. Now what you will do? Corresponding the previous carry you see now. 0. This is 1. This is also 1. This is also 1. What happened now? When AK is equal to BK, then your CK is equal to 0. When the CK is equal to 0, see, this is CK is equal to 0. This is equal to 0. CK equal to 0, then the previous carry also is equal to what happened? 0 is there. Then here 1 is there. Right. So I can say now from this, what I can write in the sense, when AK is equal to BK, okay, sorry. When AK is equal to BK, then CK is equal to 1. When CK is equal to 1? CK is equal to 1. When actually, don't check this previous carry here. When I'll get carry is equal to 1 actually? When I'll get in the sense, when I'll get AK and BK is equal to, if AK is equal to BK, then equal to condition 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay, so let me see in this way better. Instead of that, AK equal to BK, I will go like this, okay? I will say in this way better. AK, BK is equal to 0, 0 first. AK, BK, 0, 0. I'll go for the condition 0, 0 first. Both 0, 0. Okay, here only. When both are 0, you see what is carry? So I can say if CK is equal to 0, correct? CK is equal to 0, when that is if AK is equal to BK, then CK is equal to 0. When AK is equal to BK is equal to 0 means CK is 0. Next, I'll go for the equal condition. AK is equal to BK. 0, 0 is over. Now I'll go for 1, 1, right? 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Now, when 1, 1, again now we see the carry corresponding 1, 1. Now what happened? Same condition only. If AK is equal to BK, my CK will be is equal to 1. Why? Because we see when if AK is equal to BK, I'm having two possibilities of output CK, like 1 and 0. When I will get CK is equal to 1, when I will get CK is equal to 0. That is what we are saying here. So now CK is equal to 1 when I will get, when AK is equal to BK is equal to 1. Then only I will get CK is equal to 1. That is what the condition here be written. Else means if AK is not equal to BK, where AK is not equal to BK, now we'll check it. AK is not equal to BK, where 0, 1, 1, 0, then 0, 1, 1, 0. Now we see the corresponding carry 0, 0, 1, 1. You see this? What happened here? Else, what is the condition I'm getting? CK is equal to see now compare. CK is equal to CK minus 1 I am getting. That is what. So this how can I write in the sense AK is equal to BK, then CK is equal, in single shot if you want to write CK is equal to AK is equal to BK, then I'll put a 1 star. This star actually represents these conditions. Actually, two conditions are there. So that is why CK will get like this when AK is equal to BK actually. Else your CK will be CK minus 1. This is the my adder element requirements. So now what we'll do, let us design the full adder using multiplexer approach you have to follow here. So how to design the full adder using multiplexer? So let me put a little bit idea. Let me put a little bit idea for you how to design a multiplexer using that. Okay. Now you see, this is my truth table. See, whatever the process I'm telling here, the same process will be applicable. If you want to design any circuit using multiplexer, you can follow this method only. Okay, so it is one of the very efficient method to implement any circuit using multiplexer. Now, let me go for this a truth table. So in the truth table, what I'm going to do, I will take any one variable, but here I'm going to choose the variable as CK minus 1 is my input for my multiplexer. Because as you know, multiplexer input, I'm going to choose as CK minus 1. That only we represented as here C. So here in your K-map, do you remember that in your K-map actually, or here I can say, this is C bar. First is C bar. I will specify this is nothing but your C. Okay. Next, my multiplexer inputs are, I'm going to take example. I'm going to implement this full adder using 4:2 mux. Why 4:2 mux in the sense like 2 4:1 mux I'm going to implement. In the sense why? Because the first 4:1 mux for your sum, the second 4:1 mux for carry. That is why I can say two outputs. Okay. Now my input for the multiplexer is I0, I1, I2, I3. Okay, this is clear. Okay. Now here inside, just you put how many inputs are the combination in the full adder here. Totally 7 combinations are there. That is just I'm writing the numbers. The binary equivalent the binary number. This is the binary number, right? The equivalent decimal value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now in this, what I should do, first I'm going to find out for sum. Yes. Now for sum, wherever I'm getting sum is equal to 1, you can see where I'm getting sum is equal to 1, only these places. Now corresponding binary number you check. I get the sum is equal to 1 for, that is 0, 0, 1. Next 0, 1, 0. Next 1, 0, 0. Next 1, 1, 1. For all these 4 cases, sum is equal to 1. Now just you encircle those part. Now what you will do, let us write the multiplexer input here. How to write multiplier input here? From this, you have to write list. Very important. Which number is encircled, that corresponding the variable we have to write here. Okay, very important this only. Which is encircled. The corresponding the variable is your input of the mux. Now you see the 4 is encircled. So the corresponding C. So C is the input, first input. That is your I0 multiplexer input is nothing but C. Next here the 1 is encircled. That is nothing but what? C bar. So the input I1 is nothing but C bar. Next 2 is encircled. For 2 corresponding is C bar. Then that is nothing but I written as C bar. Now the multiplexer I2 input is nothing but C bar. Next 7 is encircled. So now the 7 is nothing but correspond to C. So nothing but what? The multiplexer I3, it is nothing but C. This is for sum. Okay. Same the way, what you have to do, you have to go for carry also. For carry, when I'll get the carry in the same the way, for carry output, same multiplexer I0, I1, I2, I3, same 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, same like C bar and C. Next here, the very important, for carry, when the carry will generate from the truth table, you see, it's nothing but 0, 1, 1, carry will generate, 1, 0, 1, carry will generate, 1, 1, 0, carry will generate, all are 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's think simple, we can say, when the carry will generate, if more than 1 is there, correct? If more than 1, if it is appears, then automatic carry will get generated. So now I encircled those things, correct? Now you can see here, one more thing, here both are not encircled. Is it clear? If both are not encircled, that meaning the input is 0. You have to specify as 0. So your I0, the multiplexer I0 input is something but 0. Next, the I1. Now we can see the I1, the 5 is encircled. Corresponding to 5, the variable is what? C is the variable. So return C. Next, 6 is encircled. The corresponding input is C. So again C. That is I2. Multiplexer I2 is nothing but C. Next, both are encircled here. You see, if both are encircled, then we have to specify value as 1. Both are encircled means. So I3 is 1 actually. Now let us recombine these two. Now in this, you know, the multiplexer input is C. Then as I know, 4:1 multiplexer. We are going to use a 4:1 multiplexer. If I are going to use 4:1 multiplexer in the sense, then 4:1, right? The 4:1 in the sense, this is for 4:1, right? 4:1. This is I0, I1, I2, I3. This is output Y. Now selection line is, you know, right? This is my selection line. 2 selection line will be there. Then these 2 selection inputs. So this input is C. Then selection line 2 input. As you know, this is equivalent to sum and carry. First sum in the sense, the sum consists of 3 variables in the sense what? A, B, C. So your selection line is nothing but A, B actually. So now I got A, B, C. Right. That is why here we done. You see this? Let me show the figure how it is indicated. See, I'm going to show here how it is done. See here, 2 multiplexers. Okay. So 2 multiplexers named as input as I0, I1, I2, I3. So second multiplexer I0, I1, I2, I3. The first multiplexer will produce the sum output. Second multiplexer will produce the carry output. Then these 2 are selection lines. So I can say A, B. Okay. Now you see as the sum, as you know in the sum, what is it? The I0 is nothing but input is what? C. The I1 input is C bar. So from C, I connected one inverter that will become a C bar. Correct? This is C bar. Next I2 also C bar. I3 is C. Then come to carry. I0 is 0. I1 is C. I2 is C. I3 is 1. Meaning is I0 is 1. What is the meaning of that? That is nothing but simple. I can say It is connected to ground. That is the meaning of that. Then I3 is 1. What is the meaning of that? That is connected to VCC. That is a power. Okay, 1 means logically high. That is nothing but power supply. Then 0 means it is connected to ground. So like when you are having a IC, if you are going to implement the full adder using multiplex IC, then what you have to do? So simple, that terminal you have to connect to ground, then other terminal you have to connect to the power supply, then only input. So now when you apply the inputs A, B, C, then I'll get sum and carry output. Now from this, I can write the expression, correct, for this sum. Now you hope remember how to write, you can able to remember now how we written the Boolean expression for multiplexer. 4:1 multiplexer. The same the way written here. You see, first, when selection line is 0, 0, what will happen? I0 will be selected. I0 is something about what? C. So 0, 0, that is C. C dot A bar will plus. Next selection line is 0, 1. I1 will be selected. I1 is what? C bar plus 1, 0, which will be selected. I2. I2 is what? C bar. Next plus both are 1. C. That is I3 will be selected. I3 is something about C. See here, I written the Boolean expression. Same the way for carry also. When A equal to 0, 0, I0 will be selected. That is something but 0. So like see here, 0 dot this plus. When 0, 1, that is 0, 1, what is that? I1 will be selected. I1 is what? C. Same the plus. 1, 0, 1, 0 in the sense, 1, 0 means I2 will be selected. The I2 is connected to C. I got C, right? Then plus AB, 1, 1 in the sense I3. I3 is 1. See now here, you might have understood how we written this expression like based on mux logic. This mux logic. This is what we are going to use in our implementation. Now you can see this, the same diagram here we shown. There on just this is that. This will be your full adder using multiplexer logic. Now you can use this to implement a full adder using NMOS switch. Okay, like multiplexer only we can try to use this. Now what we can do, this is the approach, same like this approach, we need to write the Boolean expression for your full adder. I hope you understood that. Yes. So in this, let us write. How to write? First, let you say sum expression. What will be the sum expression? Let me say the sum, actually SK, right? Sum expression in multiplexer way. In multiplexer way we have to write. Okay, be clear now. Sum. Where I will get sum actually 0, 0, 1 I will get sum. Yes. So you remember that 0, 0, 1. That 0, 0 is nothing but your control signal. AB is a control signal. C is nothing but your. So I can say A, B, C. Just I'm right. First I will write all these things. 4 terms will be right. A, B, C plus A, B, C plus A, B, C. Don't get confusion here. Why written like this? I will put that. Yes. Okay. First A 0, 0, 1, right? Sum actually 0, 0, 1. So A bar, B bar, 0, 0. Then sum is 1 actually. Control signal. Next, when I'll get sum is 1, 0, 1, 0. 0, 1, 0. You should assume the C is 0 actually. You assume like this 0, 1. If I, okay. Next, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. Next is when I'll get sum is equal to 1. 1, 0, 0. 1, 0, 0. Then all are 1. See here, we'll get like this, I think. Complete totally, how many will be? 1 will be there totally in a sum expression. First is 0, 0, 1. Sum I'll get. Next, 0, 1, 0 also I'll get sum 1. Next, 1, 0, 0. correct? 1 0 0. I'll get that also sum is equal to 1. Next 1 1 1. For this also I'll get sum. So now this is the expression actually. You can see this. Okay, now what you need to do, AB is nothing but your control signal. Okay, this is will be your control signal. Then this will be your input. The C's are inputs. C is your input actually in sum. So in sum actually I got 2 C bar, right? The previously C bar actually. A bar, B bar, C, A bar, B, A bar, B, C bar, A bar, B, C bar, 1 0. Okay, fine, no problem. That is okay. So now what we will do, okay, let me better what I will do instead of that, you understand, you might have understood. Okay, you might have understood this, right? Okay, now what we'll do, we'll take this expression. Now, this expression we are going to implement in using N switch. See, this is what we are going to implement now. So you be there, just a meeting will get ending now actually. Again, just to be reconnect, later we'll continue with this. Okay, now you see, this is the stick diagram for multiplexer N switches based adder logic with stored and buffer some output. Okay, now you see how it is drawn. As we know that in your multiplexer based NMOS switches stick diagram we drawn, correct? In that, what we did actually, we done your inputs are in the inputs are we drawn in a horizontal, correct? No, I hope you remember the diffusions we drawn. Next, what we did, we drawn the your control signals are in vertical. Now here, just for simplified purpose, they made in reverse way. Okay, even you can draw like this also. If you are getting confusion, you draw like this also, no problem. So here, this will be your diffusions, and this will be your control signal. Diffusion in the sense, how what like your inputs. Which are the inputs actually here? Which is our input? The input is nothing but CK. You remember in the mux-based design we did, right? This is nothing but the input actually, correct? I hope you might have cleared. The CK is your input actually. The CK is nothing but an input. Next, what about this? What about this now? These all are control signals. Yes, these all are control signals actually. See here. Okay. So as you know, this is a diffusion. In the monochrome, we know this is a diffusion. These are all the control signals we draw with what? Metal actually. I hope you remember already. We know that, right? So I don't want to, so I can say this is nothing but what? It's supposed to be what? It is a metal actually, correct? This is a metal. Then what about this? This is a diffusion. Which diffusion? It's supposed to be NDIF actually, because we are using NMOS switches. So it's supposed to be NDIF switch. Now you see, is what is our expression actually? Let us go for the expression for our multiplexer. The sum, how many input is CK? Input is CK. Okay, here we took the input as CK. Next, what is how many control signal actually? Control signal is AK, BK. But we are having AK, AK bar, BK, BK bar. That is why you see these are the control signals. Now, from our expression, you know that what is the expression? The first one in the sum. Instead of as per this, I'll go for carry first. Okay, what is the carry expression? Let me go back. Carry expression. You see the carry expression now? carry expression is first, what is it? A bar dot B bar dot 0. You assume instead of this 0, you see something like a C bar is there. Because this is 0, right? It is like C. You assume as this is C only. Understood? You have to assume this is C. You see, assume this is C. So now, because of 0, actually else we no need to draw the circuit diagram also, but in our diagram, it's indicated. You see this. A bar, B bar. Where is the A bar, B bar? AK bar, BK bar. Transistor is created. See, AK bar, BK bar. Correct. Only AK bar and BK bar. Your value is what? The one more input is what? Your input CK. This is not the input CK. Sorry, I made the mistake. This is not the input. Small thing. CK is nothing but your output. C out. Correct. CK is nothing but your output actually. Where is input actually? The input is nothing but here. Sorry, we made the mistakes. This is your input. Correct. This is the input. CK minus 1. Because previous carry. Yes. Now we'll see. First, your CK is equal to what's the first? A bar, B bar. You see that A bar, that is AK bar this one. See this AK bar and dot BK bar, series in connection. Okay, AK bar, BK bar. Is anything else connected over here? Nothing else. AK bar, BK bar. Okay. So next, what is the next is A bar B. That is plus, you see, parallel connection. As you know, the parallel connections indicates the plus. A bar B. A bar B. Where is the A bar B now? A bar in this A bar B. You see this A bar B. AK bar. That is AK bar. AK bar B. That is this. AK bar B into C actually, correct? Dot C. So again, you see, this is series. This is series, right? See, this only series. This is series actually. CK minus 1 dot CK minus 1. See, directly I'm giving the input because the diffusion is nothing but the input actually. You hope you remember. This is the input actually. So my output is CK is nothing but what? CK minus 1 dot AK bar dot BK. That is the one. Next, what is there? Plus, then one more thing is, you see this CK minus 1 dot AK dot BK bar. CK minus 1, AK dot BK bar. You see this? See? See, here the C indicates the previous carry. Keep in mind, CK minus 1 into AK dot BK bar. See? AK dot BK bar. So I got that. I am given the input over there. What is the next actually? Next is AB. See? AB. AK dot BK. So this will be also be CK. So now this is what we got as CK. I hope it is clear for you, right? Just you rotate the figure and you assume, just you do the rotation. You do the rotation in a clockwise direction. Then you virtually assume that your x-axis nothing but will be your, as per this, the diffusion carries the input, then your that is vertical, horizontal carries the control signal, that is a metal. Then in between need to create a signal. So let me show there how I drawn, just for simple, then you may get idea. See here, this is what, like, see, these are the diffusions, correct? These are the diffusions. Then this will be your C. This is C. The first input is nothing. This is I'm drawn for sum actually. So now how can I draw for carry here? Let me show here itself. For this is a carry, right? Example, I'll show this only carry. Now what I will do, let me draw a diffusion is green color, right? Just let me take in this way only. diffusion is green color. Your, as per our input is, this is the input, correct? C is input. So I will take C. C is the input. Next, 2, 3, 4. Why I took 4 means we are having 4 min terms is there. So 4 I took. Next, what I will do? I'll take a metal. Now, because how many we need control signal? Totally 4 control signals. Okay. So 4 control signals. Okay. 4 control signals. Four control signals. Totally 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Next, blue color. One, that is 4 control signal. 2, 3, 4. So this will be your A. This will be your A bar. This is your B. This is your B bar. Now this will be your C. Okay. So let me draw the diagram. Just let me draw a diagram here. Now what I will know, wherever the transistors are there, is first to see 0. Your C is 0. Okay, you, because this is the input only. If you, because this is, we are applying from the externally, you have to assume like this only. Externally we are applying, C is 0. So you have to assume here the input is C actually. You have to assume like this only. So C, let it be C only. If it is 0 means it will go as 0. If it is 1 means it will go as 1 actually. So now 0, what? A dot B. This is A, this is B. Let us create a transistor. You know how to create a transistor. Means simple. Here one polysilicon A and here one polysilicon. Okay. A, B. Next to what? Plus C dot A dot B. Again C dot A dot B. Again C. Sorry. Oh, this is A bar B bar. Okay, sorry. Yes, 0, A bar, B bar. A bar, B bar is A bar, B bar. So let me draw a polysilicon A bar, B bar. Okay. Next is C dot A bar B. A bar B. C dot A bar B. C dot A bar B. A bar B. This is A bar. This is B. So before that, you should know here all are, we should know that this is parallel connection, right? Here only we are giving the input as C actually. Next, what is the next is C dot A dot B bar. A dot B bar. A dot B bar. Okay. A and B bar. So A dot B bar in the sense A dot B bar. Next is 1. So if the C is 1 in the sense, I will get us like this. So what will happen? 1 dot A dot B. A dot B is here. A dot B. So next what you have to do actually in the sense you have to create a contact here. Then only your polysilicon, it is connected to the control signal. The gate is connected to the control signal, right? So now this will be your sum. Sorry, this will be your gate. This is your carry. So now what I need? Finally, I'll take as output here. It is nothing but what? It is our C out. See, this is the C out. So this is C. Same fashion, your sum here. You see the sum. How it is done sum? Same the way we done sum also. Yes, you see the sum now. I hope you can clearly understand now. See this? This is the sum expression. Correct? So now first what is it? C into A bar B bar. So A bar C into A bar B bar. So A bar B bar. So first I given A B. Okay, I'll start from here actually. A B. A B. This is A. This is B. It's connected to C input. Okay. Next, another one more C here. A bar B bar. So another C also. A bar B bar. Even same C is connected over here also. Okay. Next, you can see third here. A B bar. A B bar. A B bar, that is connected to what? A B bar's input is what? C bar. So from the C inverter I took, then A bar, see, A bar B. Next is again C bar, A dot B bar. A dot B bar. A dot B bar. So it's supposed to come here actually. Yes, it has to come bar here actually. Next, what I should do? I should put a contact. Finally, I'll get the output here. This will be my sum output. This is the output as sum actually. So now we combine these two only, we got the output. You hope you can draw this diagram very easily. This is what done here. See, in that fashion only. We combine these two, simple. Same thing if you follow, we'll get exactly this. I need everyone to go to this diagram. So instead of seeing this diagram, you try to draw yourself, then easily you can understand. Correct? I shown now separately, so sum and carry separately I drawn, right? So now because for sum and carry, the input is common. Which is input? CK minus 1 is the input. At the same time, the control also is common. Which control? AK bar, BK bar. So what you do, you take in this way and try to solve. Take the Boolean expression and to try to solve this. But you see, the one more thing additional here we done. Did you notice? We used here, stored and buffered some output here. See here, we used something here. What is the use of this? Actually, I have to get the output as 0, right? See, example, if I'm getting the output as 0 over here, I need to store in some buffer. Buffer I need to store. If I want to store in buffer, actually here, it's like here buffer. Example, this is a one buffer actually. Then what will be this? If this is the yes, then what's supposed to be? This is supposed to be yes bar actually. So that is why just I added extra here. What this indicates, this diagram will be like this actually. It is a mixture of the symbol and the stick diagram. We studied in the previously in the initial, right? We can mix up both symbol of your stick diagram and the symbols, logic symbols. Now this will be a escape bar. This is your escape bar. That is S bar. This is your S. What is this now? This your control signal is a clock. You see this here? The specified is a clock. You can see clock. So now you can see here, when the clock is equal to 1, then I will get the sum. Correct? It will be stored. The sum will be stored here. For that purpose, straight away I cannot use. Okay, so I need to store the sum. Normally, if it takes any adder, so to perform next stage, just for it's a buffered and store some output. So what will happen? When during clock is equal to 1, this transistor will be on, then I will get a sum. When clock is equal to 0, what will happen? The sum will be stored here itself. When again the clock rises to 1, I will get the sum yes actually. So for that purpose extra we added this. Now you think here, you assume here which we used NMOS switch, correct no? But now what we can do, we can replace this NMOS switch by transmission gate or CMOS. We can replace this NMOS by CMOS switch. Now how it will be the diagram? Can you remember now? Can you imagine that how it will be? It will be little bit complex will be there. Just the see. That is why seeing the diagram only you will feel something like, but it is very simple. If you understood the logic, then it will be very easy to draw the diagram. You see this same, that only what happened here. You see here, this will be your the complete entire P-well. If this is the P-well they specified, which mass is this actually? P-well means it is here. This one indicates, or let me write like this. Okay, let me write. Yes. So now this whole portion actually it is here. This whole portion is a P-well they specified. It is nothing but what actually? It is nothing but your NMOS. Correct? This will be your NMOS. Now you see, this is a complete NMOS actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. The previous one, no, we drawn. I hope you can see this. This whole thing, 4 plus 4, 8. This complete is nothing but your NMOS actually, correct? So that has come over there. Next here it will be PMOS. Here also side PMOS. Why? Because for some side, this is for carry side, extra additional PMOS actually. This the other things are PMOS actually. So let me see. This portion is and this portion or what? It is a PMOS. This is the PMOS actually. Right, but rest of the things just as I said, as you know how to draw. Now here in this CMOS same diagram only, just additionally we added then SK also. See this is the modified diagram, that is CMOS version of adder logic here. Now compared to the previous case here, in this how many transistors are required in this? In this actually how many transistors are required actually? In the NMOS. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 8, 16 transistors are required, correct? NMOS 16, then inverter, 2 inverters are required, correct? 2 inverters in the sense, how many switches actually? 2 inverters means 2 inverters in the sense 4 NMOS switch, correct? Because if you want to implement one inverter, we need 2 NMOS switch. It can be either what? It can be either depletion or enhancement based. Next additional is one more what? NMOS switch is for clock. Now how much is total? Total will get total number of transistors to implement here. 16 plus 4, it is 20. 20 plus 1, 21 transistors. 21 transistors are required to implement NMOS. But at the same time, when I go for CMOS, how many required now? For NMOS itself, how many? So now NMOS is 16 in the sense, NMOS is 16, then PMOS is 16. Then inverter, how many inverter? Inverters are 2 inverters. Then clock, for clock also, right? NMOS for one, that is for one NMOS for clock. NMOS clock, this is also one transistor. Now total will be how much? Total are 13 plus 16 plus 16, 32, 34. That inverters 2 means 4 actually. It's supposed to be 4, correct? 2 in the sense it is 4 actually. 4 transistors. 40 means transistors. NMOS clock one. So totally I'll get 32 plus 4, 36, 37. So total I need 37 transistors. When I go for CMOS version of logic. Now here still actually as per this, but it's not total 37 actually. Still you need what? Simple I'll say. You see here, simple AK is fine. What about AK bar? AK bar need one more inverter from A to AK bar. Next B to BK bar, one more inverter is required. Then anything else? Only these things are required over there. So now what I will do? I will show the another version of that. See that here, next version. See this. Now this is the complete the CMOS adder element here. You see this. Now how it is done? Completely we separated the inverters. Because earlier in this diagram we shown like this, correct? The earlier we shown the inverters. See when you are drawing this inverter, you make it complex, right? Now we need to arrange it. How many inverters are required? A to AK bar, one inverter. Then B to BK bar, 2 inverters. Then CK minus 1 to CK minus 1, 3 inverters. SK bar to SK, 4 inverters. Now you can see totally 4 inverters here. You see this. Can you see this? Now this is the inverter number 1. See, this is the inverter number 1. Then this is the inverter number 2. This is the inverter number 3. Then this will be your inverter number 4. You can see 4 inverters. Okay, 4 inverters. Now you can see how it has done. So now just this is a modified version, everything. So straight away, if you look into seeing this figure, you can't able to draw. Seeing this, just you have to come step by step. Then it will be very, very easy. So these are all the inverter properly they are drawn here. Which type of inverter here? It is nothing but it's a CMOS adder element completely. So it is nothing but what? It is completely implemented with the help of CMOS only. Now how many transistors are required totally? Total number of transistors are required in CMOS logic. How many? Is there any idea? Total number of transistors required. Total number of transistors. So very simple, I can say. It is like how many minterms totally? A and B total minterms are 4 plus 4, 8 minterms, correct? So 8 minterms in the sense, how many transistors are required? Totally. In the sense, NMOS example, you can say in NMOS totally. Let me go that better previously. Yes, here only I said, right? Here, as of that CMOS, without inverter, 37 was there. Now, additionally, 2 more inverters, A to AK bar, B to BK bar. Now, how many? 2 plus additional 2 more inverters. Then totally, how many is required now? 37 plus 4, 41 transistors are required. Total number. So when you are implementing total is 41. How it is 41 in the sense? Very, very simple. As you know, how we got 41 this. Now from this, I can say the total of in CMOS element, in CMOS totally I get a sort. PMOS is how many? 8. NMOS is 8. Then inverter, how many inverters required? 2 plus 2, 4 inverters are required, right? Then NMOS switch, 1 NMOS for clock actually. Now total will be 8 NMOS is, sorry, this is 1 PMOS 8 plus 8 actually, right? Sum plus carry, no? 8 plus 8. 8 plus 8, sum and carry, inverter 4. So 16, 16, 32, 32 here, how much? 4. So 4 into 2 actually, 8. Then clock is 1. So totally I'll get as 16 plus 16, 32, 40, 41. So total is 41. This is what. Now if you want to implement this, if you want to implement this, totally 41 transistors are required over there. So now here it is a 41 transistors required to implement one basic full adder element. See 1 bit. It is for 1 bit addition. To add 1 bit, how many transistors required? 41 transistors are required. So now this only one adder element is sufficient to generate n number of adders. Because if you want to generate or if you want to design 4-bit adder, what you need to do? You have to use this 1-bit adder 4 times. So now my standard basic gate cell is nothing but this only. Correct? So this is what we have to do. So that is why here we shown that 2 inverters to form CK minus 1 and CK duper. This is what individually we said, how many inverters are required. Okay. Next will be the standard cells required to be designed for the adder element. Now here the adders consist of 3 parts actually. The one, what are the required? One is like the mux is required. That is because we are implementing this full adder using mux logic. So one mux is required. Next is inverters are required. So the mux can be NMOS based or a CMOS based. Next, inverter circuits are required. That inverter circuits are 4:1 and 8:1 ratio. It is depends on us. We can use either 4:1 ratio or 8:1 ratio. NMOS or CMOS. Next, communication path. The communication path is just the interconnections, those things. So it is required only 2 important elements, that is mux and the inverter. Now here the multiplexer cell here we are showing. This is the multiplexer cell we are showing with and without cut, that is without contact. This is first you see multiplexer has, which are the layers here you see, here they specified, this is your N or P diffusion because it can be any diffusion. This is the diffusion, then this will be your polysilicon. Because for creating a transistor, assume that we are creating a transistor, what we did in the sense, simple, they're drawn like this only. How they are drawn in the sense, let me draw, first draw the NMOS. First draw the diffusion, okay? First let us draw the diffusion. This is my diffusion. Next what you have to do? We have to draw the polysilicon. Okay, the polysilicon will be because to create the transistor. So the polysilicon will be like this. Or let me create a metal as per this. As per this I will draw. This is my metal size. Okay, control. This is my metal size. Now what I will do, let me create a polysilicon here. See, this is what this diagram indicates. Same, like see, now diffusion, we created the transistor, but still it is not connected. Correct. So now to make a connection, what I should do? Same diagram, this is what here, without cut. So simple, we have to use a cut. Yes. Then this diagram will come. Now you can see in this, the total area will be like this. The area is what? This one, your with this 11 lambda, 11 lambda, then this height will be 7 lambda. So now the area of single cell, the multiplexer cell, this is the single multiplexer cell actually. It's not a complete, multiple means the complete, it's a single transistor in the multiplexer actually. Multiplexer cell I'm saying. Because one multiplexer is nothing but 4 cross 4, 4 cross 4 cell is there. As per in our NMOS based switch, if I take in terms of multiplexer, like say example, I had for some 8 transistor for carry 8 transistor. Each and every transistor is nothing but each and every single cell. That single cell only are showing here, single transistor. Same we are showing even here also. I hope you understood this. Yes, is it clear this one? Now here we are showing the NMOS inverter. The previously we said to design, this is what, see that 2 components are required. One component is multiplexer, the another component is inverters. So the previously we seen the multiplexer cell, each and every cell. Right? Next we will see the inverter component. See, this is the inverter component. We used NMOS inverters. Both are NMOS inverters, but here you can see NMOS inverter using butting contact, very important. Here we used buried contact, 2 different ways on. So the NMOS, in the sense, it is based on which transfer, it will be like a enhancement or a depletion. So you can say this is which type, it can be either enhancement or depletion type, we can say. Now you see, this is your pull down transistor. This is the pull down transistor, same the way. Okay, this is the pull down transistor. This is the metal, the contact. Now how we used the butting contact here, you see, which is the butting contact? This is the butting contact. As you know, what is the butting contact actually? The connection between the polysilicon to diffusion with metal. See here, with metal. Okay, next here, what is the buried contact? The buried contact is connecting the polysilicon to diffusion without metal. You see, this is your with a buried contact. This was simple. That's this invert. So like this is the simple layout diagram for NMOS inverter with the help of butting contact and this buried contact only. Next, here we are showing the bounding box, that is the floor plan of CMOS adder element. This is the CMOS inverter actually. The previously we shown NMOS inverter. This is the CMOS inverter circuit. This is already we drawn. Now see in this, what is the area of CMOS inverter? We followed the minimum rules. That is nothing but 35 lambda cross 18 lambda. That is the area of CMOS inverter. Now let us see in the floor plan the bounding box of CMOS adder element. For one single adder element in the floor plan, how much area it will occupy. Now you can see here, totally the inverters. Here we are using the CMOS inverters. If we are going for the CMOS inverter block, totally how many inverters are required? 7 inverters are required. So here 7 inverters are we are using totally. Each inverter is required 35 lambda cross 18 lambda. That is the area is required here. Next, multiplexer. The total number of multiplexer the cell is 16 actually. So the each mux required 7 lambda cross 11 lambda is the area. Then totally the area of this multiplexer will become as 16 into 16 times of 7 lambda into 11 lambda. Now some additional this area, see these are the some additional extra area also is required. Now totally when I go for one single element required how much? Approximately 190 lambda cross 150 lambda is the area size of your single adder element. That is what it's required here. Okay. So in the next class, we'll study about the 4-bit adder design, because now we studied only single adder element. Like with the help of this single adder, how we can design the 4-bit adder. So that we'll study in the next class. At the same time, using the 4-bit adder, how we can implement the ALU functions also, like the arithmetic and logical function we can implement. That we'll see in the next class.